What do you do when it's nasty outside and you got 20 yards to work with? How do you keep that stimulus up year round? Because, I want the sprint times when we come back in the spring and we go outside to be just as good as or better.
I would say that even if you could squeeze one sprint workout in a week, at least one exposure in a week, let's say it's a really nasty week, if you could just pick the best day out of 4 to get in one workout, that would be really good. Another option would be, most people have a long hallway in their school. There's actually a story of a school that's won 3 consecutive state championships in track and field in South Dakota. And they're a Feed the Cat school. And the principal was so impressed. They said, "Is there anything I can do for you, coach?" He said, "Yeah, I want you to turf our speed hallway." And the principal said, "Done." They put turf on their speed hallway to allow them to sprint. And it doesn't have to be turf. It could be a weight room floor. I mean, if they say, "Well, it's too hard to clean a weight room floor." No, it isn't. It's done all the time. So if you could get indoors, like we have a field house, so it'd be easy at Plainfield North to get indoors. Hey, we're just going to start football practice in the field house on Monday and Wednesday. We'll head down to practice about a half an hour. Like let's say we start at 2:30. We'll head down to get dressed for practice at 3, and then you have a short practice. So I think there's ways that it can be done. But you do have the option of really backing off and doing just one in a week. I think 2 is optimal, 3 is okay, 1 is getting by. And if you did none in a week, the way I would look at it is like you took a week off from sprinting. A week off is sometimes the greatest thing in the world for an athlete. It reminds me of the situation I have in track and field. We have about 7 and 9 weeks of the season, and then we have spring break, and then we have like 8 weeks more coming up. And spring break, the old school guy in me is driven nuts by spring break because we don't practice. I refuse to have practice when kids are on vacation. So we don't practice, and we come back better because of taking that break. It is absolutely crazy and counterintuitive that not only did we not lose everything we worked for, we came back better by kids going on cruises and going to Cancun and just getting bored in their house or whatever. So anytime you're faced with we can't do it this week, you just try to turn it into a positive.
Do you think that the curved treadmills are enough to get the stimulus in on a weekly basis?
I don't know. It is. I would think that you could be given almost anything and you could get a stimulus. Like oftentimes when I talk about X factor, we have to have a reasonable hunch that the exercise will make you faster. Let's take the exercise bike. The exercise bike, I do not have a reasonable hunch that makes you faster, so we don't do it. But if that was the only tool I had, we would get on that damn thing and we would spin it until we slowed down 1%. Then we get off, somebody else would get on. I believe we don't jump rope because I'm lazy. We should jump rope. I believe you could get a sprint stimulus from jumping rope, but it has to be really, really fast. And guys will have to work at it long enough to get good at it so they can go fast. So I think a curved treadmill would be a great alternative. The shred, whether they call it treadmill or whatever. I'm not sure on that. I'm not sure. But if that was my only option, I'd say hell yeah. So I think you're thinking the right way.
Awesome. Thank you.